be alright. There's hope in front of me. There's a light, I still see it. There's a hand still holding me. Even when I don't believe it. I might be down, but I'm not there. There's better days still up my head. Even after all I see, there's hope in front of me. There's a place at the end. I've been running through rain that I thought would never end. Trying to make it on faith in a struggle against the wind. I've seen the dark and the broken places. Oh, but I know in my soul, no matter how bad it gets, I'll be alright. There's hope in front of me. There's I've been running through rain that I thought would never end. Trying to make it on faith in a struggle against the wind. I've seen the dark and the broken places. Oh, but I know in my soul, no matter how bad it gets, I'll be alright. There's hope in front of me. There's a light, I still see it. There's a hand still holding me. Even when I don't believe it. I might be down, but I the end of the storm you finally find where the hurt and the tears and the pain will fall behind. You open up your eyes and up ahead there's a big sun shining. Right then and there you realize you'll be alright. There's hope in front of me. There's a light, I still see it. There's a hand still holding me. Even when I don't believe
Thank you once again to the sponsors whose generosity makes this 2018 Relay for Life of Second Life possible. The premier sponsors for 2018 are Rockcliffe University Consortium, RGF Estates, Soul Existence, and Bama Breeze Club. Thank you also to the sponsor of today's kickoff celebration, Relay Refresh. For a complete listing of all this weekend's kickoff events, visit the Relay for Life of Second Life Facebook page or check notices in the Relay for Life Volunteers group. We're pleased to begin today's events with a performance by The Monarchs, an award-winning performance dance troupe in Second Life. Founded in 2016, the Monarchs have presented a wide variety of shows, many in support of Relay for Life. Choreographer D.R. Vader and set designer Royal Ship, along with the Monarch dancers, are today joined by a special volunteer dance troupe comprised of some of the volunteers who came forward and signed up for tasks this season. And now, ladies, gentlemen, and relayers all, please welcome to the kickoff stage, the Monarchs Dance Troupe.
There's a substantial disconnect between what we envision and what we actually experience. And we make the plan, we think it's perfect, we're ready to go. Oh, sure, I have my race plan, I'm gonna sprint the last mile. But then you're in the midst of the battle, right? And when you're in the trenches, you quickly realize that you didn't take into account a variety of factors. And funny enough, these factors are what make victory so difficult to begin with. The required patience, the persistence, the instinctual desire for routine, to know, to predict. And sure enough, that time comes. You go to sprint the last mile, but you didn't realize you'd be fighting just to keep going, let alone increase your speed. See, the formula isn't as simple as we want to believe. Why? Because we attack armed with the wrong idea, just as much as life is about executing a plan. It's also about taking the unplanned and making it work. The unexpected, life's curveballs. You know, they're not entities that lurk outside the scope of your game plan. They are your game plan. The idea is to be brave, not perfect. It's to be resilient, not flawless. Confident, not complete. The best athletes don't train to be perfect. No, they train to tolerate discomfort, because guess what? If you can't adjust, you lose. Life will never conform to your plan, and people don't want to hear that. They remain stubborn, unchanged, and what they're left with is resentment and the feeling that they've been slighted by life. The person who plans for the perfect race will always be outdueled by the one who comes prepared to conquer its imperfections. The one who will rein in the unexpected, not bow to it or falter in its presence, but own it. The pursuit of victory is not one from which we emerge unscathed. It's messy, it's humbling. If you're too proud to acknowledge that your plans aren't an instruction manual, you will be defeated. There's a saying that you can't control the wind, but what you can do is adjust your sails. Yeah, be prepared, be skilled, be the best at what you do, but be flexible. Move with the elements, relish in the understanding that the obstacles will come and they will make you stronger. Strong minds win because they don't succumb to events beyond their control, and that choice is always going to be there. You didn't plan for this, but the decision presents itself. Will it be the reason you fail or the reason you succeed?
The 2018 Relay for Life of Second Life season begins right now. Please welcome to the stage your event leadership team, united to work beside you in kicking off what may be our best season yet. The 2011 and 12 chair, Mama P. Beerbaum Alter. Your 2013 and 14 chair, Nikki Matheson. The 2015 and 16 chair, Brandon Padar-Darrow. And this year's chair, along with last year, Nuala Maricus. And of course, they're joined by our very own Superman, the ACS staff partner for the Relay for Life of Second Life, Stingray Raymaker.
Welcome to Relay for Life 2018. It is a completely refreshed relay. I love the Monarch dancers. I love the stage setting we have here. I love the attitude that we've had for the last few months coming into this relay. I would have to say this is completely a refreshed relay with a fresh heartbeat. I will say also that last summer I spoke at the wrap-up ceremony. I committed to you that we needed to refresh our Relay for Life in order to position us for what's yet to come. We had to simplify. We must shut the door on old traditions. It's hard to do sometimes, but some traditions fade and we have to pave way for new traditions. Open our minds to new ideas. We must embrace people and their willingness to help. In order for 2018 to be the bridge between the past and the future, this is a bridge year, we have to change our mindset from being an event filled with individuals or teams who are competing for a prize to a mindset of being one team, Relay for Life of Second Life, one team working together with one common goal, which is a world where cancer is no longer relevant. It's touched too many of our lives for that not to be our real goal. And the only way we're going to do it is to work together. The entire refresh mindset starts with our core values. And every decision that we have made from the summer of last year and into the future is guided by and aligned to those core values. While all the core values are important, and they're on the website, relayforlife.org/Second Life, all of them are important. There are three in particular that I'm just going to read today because I feel like these are the important ones that we have to start off with at kickoff and carry them with us throughout the 2018 season. The first one is Relay for Life of Second Life is a life-changing event. If you agree, I want to see you post something in the volunteer chat. Do you agree that this has changed your life? Be it for all of the returning people who have participated in the past, if you agree, this is a life-changing event, I want to see you say something in the volunteer chat. No event in Second Life matches that experience one-to-one.
Yes.
The experience, what is that experience, right? No event in Second Life matches that. There's all kind of cool events in Second Life, don't get me wrong. But what makes us unique? Why is Relay so special? Because it's a beauty. I mean, look at the stage, first of all, that Eclair designed. So many people worked on this, but it is beautiful. We allow people to express their beauty. It's the interactivity of the regions. When you think about the Relay event, how many 30, 40 regions of interacted, seemingly unconnected groups of people, the diversity that is then combined with the emotional support of the community. That's the key that we have. Everybody asks, what's the secret sauce? Why is Relay the biggest? Why is Relay the most successful? Why has Relay was able to raise over $3 million in Second Life? Why is Relay the most trusted, most secure, most transparent, most reliable event to fundraise for? Nonprofit organizations, the American Cancer Society, everything that we do. Why? Because we combine your talents, your skills, your contributions with the emotional support that you all provide. I don't do anything. You guys do it all. Number two, experienced veterans. We have a lot of people who have relayed for a long time. You are experienced veterans. Should be inspiration. This is what we're going for in Relay Refresh. We want inspiration from our veterans to the up-and-comers. There's new people with new ideas. And then at the same time, we want these up-and-comers, new relayers, first-year, second-year relayers. Don't be afraid. We want to encourage you to blaze new trails. Create new ideas. We want to create an environment where you don't have to ask for permission to fundraise for the American Cancer Society. You don't have to ask for permission. You do it your way. Nobody's going to tell you that you're doing it wrong. It's your way. It's a do-it-yourself model. And if you do something great, then sure, we're going to come to you and be like, can you share that with everybody? Because it works. And that's how new traditions are born. They're not fabricated. They just kind of happen. And that's the best kind of traditions. You can't preconceive those types of things. And then number 3, the people. I said it before, the people and the communities. Second Life is made up of a bunch of communities. The people and communities who participate in our event have to be able to express themselves. You have to be able to express yourselves in your own way. At the end of the day, it does not matter if how you choose to do your Second Life, how you choose to express yourself, all the different diversity, all the differences. If someone doesn't like the way you do things, that's fine. Not their cup of tea. It doesn't mean that you're not an important part of Relay for Life. We want you to be different. We want the different points of view and the different people in the different communities, because if we were all the same, it would just be about 15 of us with nobody else who wanted to talk to us. So yes, we have to celebrate our differences, not challenge them. Nuala? Nuala, take yourself off mute.
That helps. I just want to take one quick second before I talk about the people, because I think that is the best part of Relay, is just to take a quick second to just thank Royal Ship, who actually built this beautiful stage that we're on, and Eclair Martinique, who did this absolutely great sim design. So thank you guys for that. And they're people. And
sorry,
that's,
I got that mixed up.
sorry. The best part of Relay is the people that get involved, and the more people that get involved, the better. So when we sat down last fall to look at the structure of our Relay and who needed to do what in what role on the committee, we sat back and we said, why don't we just open this up to the relayers to be more involved? And do we even really need to have a committee at all? And the answer we came up with was, no, I don't think we really do. So we said, rather than build a committee of roles where each role had 15 responsibilities, we instead broke that down and asked anyone in Relay who was interested in helping to come take on one of the tasks. And the result was that instead of having one person who's in charge of, say, 15 different tasks, we had over 50 people working on tasks to make Relay come together, to help put on Relay, to help make your Relay. And by assigning 50 people to do the different tasks, we share the load. And we're not a committee, and we're not my team against your team. We are all taking part in Relay. And everybody who signed up for a task has been given a task to be part of it. And we are all putting this Relay on together. And over the course of the Relay, if there's new tasks that do develop and come up, which I'm sure there will be, we're going to put out a want ad, I guess, looking for volunteers. Want it. Looking for volunteers to help with that task.
That's right. There will be new tasks that pop up throughout the year. So stay tuned. The other thing is talking about simplification, talking about refresh. As we enter 2018, by now, I'm sure everybody has noticed our entire technological setup is different. It has been simplified. I'm talking, when I say different, I'm talking about we strapped dynamite to the old system. We blew it up. We walked away. We have a completely new system that was designed by SaaStech Industries. Some people may know who she is, who they are. It's a completely supported fundraising system that is perfect for what we were doing when we were shopping for it. This is totally off script. I'm sorry. When we were shopping for it, I remember even thinking, when talking to Sassoon even about it, saying like, it's almost as though you have been watching Relay for years and you designed a fundraising system that she sells in the marketplace, that you designed it for Relay, almost like you, and she's like, well, honestly, she goes, and she said, I do know Relay. I've been involved a little bit here and there. I've paid attention to it. And yes, there was a lot of what Relay's needs were that went into what she designed. She designed it on her own. I mean, we loved it. It matched everything. It's not 100% identical to what we used to have, and we wanted that. It needed to be simpler. But the beauty is that it opens ourselves up. It opens you up to being able to come up with your own ideas. So if you have an idea for a tool, don't hesitate to reach out to me and talk to me about it. But if you have that idea, you're going to be a part in building it. So have a plan as well. So anyway, newly designed kiosk vendors, they represent the new era in relay fundraising in Second Life. We also have one website, not two. Remember, we used to have two websites. Why would we have two websites? Well, now we have one website. We also used to make you register twice. You had to once register your team, and then you had to go sign up on Convio. Now, the website, one registration. Simple tools. You don't, here's the thing about the tools too. You don't have to replace year after year. Think about what that means. Our tools consider them evergreen. We never shed our leaves. At the end of the season, we're gonna reset your tools for you to zero. Everything's gonna come back to zero lindens at the end of the season, and we will put them in off-season mode. They're not gonna poof. We're not gonna issue new ones. The only time we issue new ones, what happened this week, is when we push out an update. But at the end of the day, you don't have to poof and replace your tools twice a year. We reset them at kickoff next year. We'll just put them into in-season mode, and so on and so on. These are our tools for here until whenever. And we'll always be working on improving our technology. Like I said, this year our goal was to simplify, focus on communication and relationships, not technology. I think that was the other part. I go off script a lot. The other part was with this, what we realized was we got so reliant on self-services. Anytime somebody asked for help, here's a link. Go to ACS Island, get it yourself. The tools are self-serve. Everything was tech self-service. It was all about just giving you, we thought we were empowering you to control your own destiny, so to speak. But what we realized was we ended up removing the relationship. We stopped talking to each other as relayers. So this year, what you're going to notice is there's not going to be so much go get it yourself, but rather let's help each other out. Let's talk to each other. I've had so many one-on-one conversations in the last few weeks. I've gotten to reintroduce myself to I've got to meet new relayers, hear new stories, and I'm so inspired because of that. And I know that if you all start talking to each other, talk to me, talk to anybody, just talk. Anyway, we've also established an events calendar. And we encourage, we're always trying to seek out new ways to help promote. The committee, the event leadership team's obligation is to help promote your team fundraisers, both in relay and outside relays. We encourage everybody, submit your events to the calendar all season long. They're on ACS Island, or just pop up in group and talk. Hey, how do I get my event in the calendar? Somebody knows. We've dedicated volunteers. That was the task Nuala talked about, who those volunteers are going to get. They have a task to get them on the calendar for you, as well as publish a weekly promotion of the events that are on the calendar. We can't promote them if we don't know about them. And we've established the main lines of official communication. That's the other thing we also recognized, was that people we had too much information, wrong information, misinformation, going out in different ways, and nobody knew what was the official word of the direction of the program. So we wanted to establish main lines of official communication. So if you don't see it or hear from it in that way, then sometimes it's going to be true. I mean, people know and people can talk, but if you wanted to just check group notices, we have the Relay Volunteers group, and we have the Information Only group. Volunteer group, everybody is going to be able to post notices. Info Only is going to be the ELT posting notices, and it's only notices, no conversation. We have the website, relayforlife.org/Second Life. We have our Facebook page. Go to Facebook, find Relay for Life a Second Life, like it, follow it, share it. And you can subscribe. If you look at the floor kiosks, they have a subscribe button on them now. Everybody can click on the subscribe button, and that will enroll you to get direct IMs. It's a subscribo by clicking that sign on the floor kiosk, and we'll be able to IM important updates about the event as well. For example, when campsite reservation process comes up, then we'll push an IM about that to remind everybody. So pay attention to those.
Awesome. And you know what? Speaking of new things that are going on as well, there's a new option this year to watch the kickoff ceremony live. So if you're listening and you can't be over at the Sims, Luke Flywalker, thank you, is streaming it live on YouTube. So there's a TV screen that's out in the notices, speaking of those. In the volunteer group, you can res it, you can watch it. And thanks, Luke, for bringing that to us. So I think there's like 35 some people watching that. So that's awesome. That's awesome. We've been talking about simplification, refreshing, and resetting, not just with the tasks and the tools, but also with our fundraising guidelines. We really, really simplified them this year. Basically, whatever you can do, you can do. You don't have to ask permission to raise money for the American Cancer Society. Just use your best judgment and represent the American Cancer Society proudly. We obviously have pro tips that we can share to help you. We can offer you advice. We can chat with you if you have questions about your events, but they're not guidelines. So this is your relay. Have fun fundraising. And Sting just mentioned the campsites. So I just want to talk about them really briefly for you, just to kind of give you a heads up. And this information is on the website too. We did some really awesome refreshing to this also. Every team, of course, is eligible no matter what you raise. We'll have a process for reserving the campsites, and so we're not automatically going to assign your team a campsite. So you do have to keep an eye out for that campsite reservation process that's going to come out. But we have a new way of working with you to fulfill what your campsite need might be. We have the turnkey sites, which are available, and they're new this year. So think of an outdoor market or a mall where it's pre-designed and you're able to decorate with a few things and have a small space that you can use. And also new this year are the shared campsites where multiple teams or individuals get together and you can share a parcel. And of course, we still do have the builder sites available as always, where you can build your own team interactive experience. The new twist on that this year is that they are all one size. So they're going to be about approximately an eighth of a sim thereabouts. But do keep an eye out for that for more information as the season goes on. And now, having said that, if your team needs are not met under those new simplified campsite guidelines, we are always willing to work with you and help you get what you need for your campsite. And there's going to be some common areas for volunteers and supporters and sponsors and participants who just don't opt for a campsite. For the fundraising guideline or fundraising clubs, we also revamped those, relooked at those. So if your team wants to set goals to reach certain levels, there's information on the website that you can look for. There's also a spot in the kickoff sims as well that you can go over and get lots of great information. There still is the individual club raising reward program, and that's where you can reward yourself with your different fundraising efforts through sweatshirts and t-shirts and coolers and backpacks and hats and TVs. And everybody who raises at least $100 US on their fundraising dashboard can be part of the Hope Club and receive a real life t-shirt, which is kind of cool. And we do recognize some teams thrive on reaching the different fundraising club levels, and some teams don't even pay attention to them. And that's okay to have different views on fundraising and have different ways that your team does fundraise. And that's really what makes each team unique. So let's embrace the different styles of team fundraising and respect the fact that whether a team raises $20,000 or $200, we're all working for the same reason, which is to support the American Cancer Society mission to save lives, celebrate lives, and fight for a world without cancer. And that really is what it is all about for us, for relayers, working for the same cause, the same reason, and uniting together to recognize what we have done, what we are doing, and what we will do together. And each year, as we grow and change, we look back at our relay heritage to help us build a sense of community, to help us plan our relay as individuals and as united teams, to unite every relayer to lead. And the greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. So community really is more than belonging to something. It's about doing something together that makes the belonging really, really matter. And Henry Ford once said, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a process, and working together is a success. And I truly believe our virtual community has some of the most compassionate members from all of Second Life. and that collectively we can unite and be successful to bring about a powerful change to save lives, celebrate lives, and fight for a world without cancer. So as we move towards opening the 2018 relay season, I'm drawn to the words of actually Mother Teresa. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create ripples. So let us embrace what each relayer brings as an individual and as a team and as a united relayers. Let's create many, many ripples this year.
That's right. In fact, the first ripples we're going to create is I want the first act of refreshing 2018 to be, you see this stage where we're sitting on this stage and you see this water that separates the event leadership team and us talking. There's this beautiful gazebo build that's out here. And then I look across the water and I see everybody standing out there watching. You have to cam in, zoom in, you're way over there. Don't be way over there. I want everybody. This is going to crash everything, I know. So make sure you watch it on YouTube as well. But I would like, as you go through this kickoff, I want to see as many people make ripples as they cross this water and get on this stage with us. Find a spot on the stage, in the grass around the stage, on the stairs behind us, in one of the gazebos. Let's fill up this beautiful gazebo and let's all be on the stage together. Because that's what this relay season is all about. As you go through this season, I want to see people start moving. Nobody's moving yet. As you go through this season, just remember, there goes somebody. Here they come. Yeah, I love this. Just remember the key.
Hold on.
The key to Relay for Life is our personal relationships that we build with one another. Anytime you can help by having a conversation, I just said this, I'm going to say it again. Do that instead of just pasting a link. I'm going to say it a third time. Anytime there's a chance to have a conversation, do that instead of pasting a link. And then also be patient with one another. Not everybody knows as much as you know, and you might learn something if you just talk to each other. There's lots of change this year, so you need to make no assumption on anything based on prior experience. So in a way, we're all noobs. You see, I told you, I've been in Second Line for 10 years. I'm still a noob. And I've just found a way to make every one of you a noob with me. You don't know. We're changing everything, right? No one, Nuala, I said it earlier, you said it, I'm saying it again. We have to keep repeating it so people truly get it, that we mean it. Nobody has to ask permission to fundraise for the American Cancer Society. We will not turn down your fundraising dollars. There is no wrong way to do it. You do it the way that makes sense to you and your friends. We might give you tips, but don't ever confuse our tips with rules, okay? Be proud of your efforts. If you have, I was talking to Lizzie yesterday, and we were talking about, going off script again, what we talked about is, she loved the idea of the tasks, because last year when she had a role on the committee, she had said that over time, you get burned out. It's so much. You don't have the time to do everything in that category. What she loved about the task was she said, I could sign up for the one or two things that I know I'm going to have time on, and I can focus on my team at the same time as well. Perfect example of what this is all about. We don't want one person doing everything. We want as many people doing as many things. So we want a bunch of little efforts so that you can focus on your teams. Whereas I lost my spot in my script. Okay, share your ideas and be willing to put in some effort to make that happen. And thinking about how we've structured the planning and organization and execution of the season and the event, you should know that your contribution, no matter how big or small it may appear, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's cheering, whether it's graphics, whether it's any objects, whether it's just talking, it is all absolutely valuable. It's necessary, and it is appreciated. And we will walk the walk this year. You will see that this is the heartbeat of Relay is going to beat stronger in 2018 than it has ever beat before.
I think that you've created the newbies and the wave and everything. Have gotten everyone all excited, and the sim is in a different land group, so they can't get in. Sting. You're
Well, then unlock it. Unlock it. How do I do that?
The
Unlock it.
ripples.
I'm gonna do. Somebody
The
unlock
ripples
it.
are trying to get in.
It actually looks pretty cool. I haven't watched it yet, but the new show, The Crossing, it almost looks like The Crossing.
All right.
The
Somebody
ripples
break
are
down
being
the wall.
created, and we'll get that fixed.
Break down the wall. This is the perfect illustration of what we mean. We are tear down that wall. Yeah, get out of there. Just open it up.
I do want to mention, okay, our Survivor speaker is coming up next. So following our Survivor speaker, there's going to be a wonderful live performance by Dembe. I'm sure, I apologize, I'm saying that wrong. Dragonfire. Somebody can correct me on how to say that. He has sung a major opera chorus and even sang backup vocals on a CD produced for a contemporary singer. He's country, classical, Broadway, oldies, rock and pop, and it's going to be a great musical treat. So our next speaker is perhaps best known as the founder of the Best of Second Life magazine, this virtual world organization, Basel Radio, The Particulars, as well as a coordinator several times for the Fashion for Life. He has been a force, a pioneer, a personality that really has helped shape the modeling and fashion industry in Second Life. And, he once said, I went back and did a little research. He once said in 2010, I lost my grandmother to cancer 6 years ago. 2 hours before she passed away, she held my hand and said, I will get better. And his reason to relay that time was to keep that spirit alive. Well, now this year, as a cancer survivor himself, he has another reason to continue the fight and keep the spirit alive. So please welcome our 2018 Survivor speaker, the one, the only, Frolic Mills.
Hello, guys. Hello. Can everybody hear me?
I think we got you.
Well, great. Hello, everyone. Sunshine, hello. All right, so listen, Nikki Matheson has a way of talking to me and getting me to do things I normally don't do. Yes, I am a survivor, but the thing is, I just finished radiotherapy 3 weeks ago, so this is way too soon, and I was like, I don't know if I want to talk. I don't know if I am ready for this quite yet because it's too close for comfort. But if there's one thing I learned about cancer is that nobody understands cancer. I mean, I became Dr. Google. I mean, Nikki, I research cancer like I research, fashion, if you will, for the last 10 years, and I went to the, natural medicine people, and I went to, the most serious of cancer clinics in the world, and you start getting this feeling that, the natural guys just approach cancer with this, well, you need to eat certain things so you can starve cancer to death. Which sounds pretty awful to me, and the diets are so oppressive, you have no idea. And then if you decide to go, the normal route, well, then you're faced with chemo and radiotherapy, which is no party either. So slim pickings when it comes to how do you tackle cancer and what is the best way to do it. And for me, it was a combination of both. I don't take medicine very, very seriously. If I'm honest with you, I am one of those patients doctors don't want to have because I'm just not very well behaved, if you all know what I mean. I came out of radiotherapy and I lit a cigarette and I had a beer and they were like, oh my God, what are you doing? But that was my approach to curing things. Because around me, when you're in this sort of environments, you see a lot of depression, and you see so much pain, and you see so much struggle. And my cancer was throat cancer. And throat cancer is, well, a bitch. And that's the right word. Because you see, I have all these friends. They became my family when we all went to radiotherapy every day. And you know, one was prostate, and the other one was in the head, and the other one was in the lungs, and the other one was, you know, here and there. And there was a little kid called Matthew that I fell in love with. And oh my God, Matthew, you know, he was like 6 years old, and, you know, parents didn't smoke. Parents didn't, you know, do anything weird, and yet he had lung cancer, you see, and you go, why? What? How? I mean, I deserve my cancer. You know, I smoke. I do all kinds of crazy stuff, you know, but this little boy, he didn't smoke. His parents didn't smoke. How the hell did he get cancer? And you see, there were 43 of us who had throat cancer, just like I did. Only 2 of us smoked. So you have this thing, because the doctors tend to say, oh, you smoke, oh, that's the reason you have cancer. You see? It's very easy for them to assign. But the truth of the matter is, if that was the only reason cancer existed, well, then I think the cure would be here. And it's not. So one has this awful feeling, or that's the feeling I got when I was doing all of this, that nobody really understands how a good cell suddenly turns into a bad cell. What made that cell create something new, something that wasn't a part of the body? And nobody could give me a straight answer. No doctor, no Google, no American Cancer Society, no Clinic Mayo, no Cleveland Clinic. You know, no one was able to deliver that answer for me. And so when Nikki came and said, Frolic, would you be the speaker for survival? I said, well, you know what? I guess I will, because if there is a reason to do Relay for Life, that is your reason. Make that your purpose, to gain as much money as we possibly can, every single team, so that we can give this a fighting chance. You understand? Because right now, my therapy was, well, we're going to give you chemo to make you very, very weak, and then we're going to burn your throat with radiotherapy. So, see, that's a very savage way to cure anything. In fact, they're not curing it, they're destroying it. You understand? That's how I got rid of my cancer. And yes, I am a survivor. And yes, I don't have, I'm in remission. I have no cancer right now. My voice is back to normal. I am happy. But remember this, they destroyed my cancer. They did not cure my cancer. You understand? It's a little bit like saying, oh, I got rid of, you know, my problem in my finger. Well, how did you get rid of it? Well, I chopped off my finger. That's not curing it, you guys. That's, well, destroying something. And the fight is far from over. I mean, I had the most modern treatments anywhere in the world. And I'm telling you, it's just not advanced enough. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about was your attitude. I remember when I first got to the clinic and I was on my first radiotherapy, everybody was so silent and everybody was so serious. And everybody was like, oh my God, you know, this and the stomach cancer. And I would go into the clinic and I would go like, good morning, everybody, you know, and I would take breakfast to the guys who did my radiotherapy, and I would give them coffee, and I would just have an attitude of somebody who knows that you're going to make it, of somebody that knows that there is a cure for you, somebody who knows and understands that these people are here to help you. And once you understand what you're doing and how to get rid of that cancer cells, well, you just do it. But you do it with a great attitude, with the happiness, with the best that you possibly can, you see. And sometimes it was hard for me because, no matter what cancer other people had, whether it was lung or stomach or, I saw all kinds of very horrible cancer. This horrible disease is just awful. But they would come out of radiotherapy and they would cross the street and they would order a pizza. I could not do that. I lost 40 pounds because I could not eat, because my throat was so burned that I could not swallow. And I'm talking water. I could not drink water sometimes. You understand? And even though that was happening with me, I managed to be happy and have an attitude and make people laugh. And I would play with Matthew, my little boy, and that's how I made it. That's how I survived. Yes, true, in December, I looked like a walking skeleton. But you know what? So what? I now gained back a few pounds. I'm looking better than ever. I'm feeling better than ever. And that's what my story, that's what I wanted to share. Keep that attitude great. And guys, relay for life, for all of your lives and your loved ones and even yourselves, because this horrible disease does not respect anyone. It happens to a 6-year-old boy. It happens to an old lady who never had cancer. It happens to athletes. It happens to everyone. So please, let's relay and let's make it beautiful and let's have the best year ever. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for your love, Nikki, and everybody here. And thank you for the support. I really appreciate it.
Hold your head up high and
clear?
don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of our love. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of
Today is not about the past. It's not about the future. It's about right now. And you've got to want that. You've got to want that like you're fighting for your last breath in this life. One life. You're here because you said, I believe in this team and we will finish what we started. When there's one need. You have within you an incredible strength that comes from being part of something truly special. Knowing that even in your darkest hour, no matter how futile or impossible the road may seem, you are never alone on this team. 80,000 people are saying, we believe in you. Will you stand up and fight for us? We get to share it. They will learn that if they knock you down, another will take their place. And if they knock him down, we'll just come back at them harder. And if they knock you down again, they're going to know what it's like to have 80,000 people come crashing down on them like their worst nightmare because we carry each other. The only thing that's certain in this life is that the clock is constantly running until you can't outrun it anymore and you're finally called back in. That's when you take stock and you know in your heart if you're a winner. It's not about medals, it's about the times you were there for your teammates. The times they needed you and you were there. And they need you today. And we need you right now. One team, one blood. Today is about immortality because no matter what happens out there today, even if victory seems impossible, we know that you will never give up on us. Because we will never give up on you. Look up, get up, stand up and fight. Brothers, sisters, one life, one love, one team.
Wow.
Can you guys hear me?
Wow, teamwork. It's basically defined in dictionaries as being the activity of a number of individuals coordinated to achieve a common goal. But, we know that's just not that simple. There's so much more to it. It's a complex network of different individuals from different cultures, different backgrounds, different habits, and different views of how things should be done. So much of the world around us is a product of human cooperation and collaboration. The food we eat, the music on the radio, the homes we dwell in. Our world has worked in cooperative roles for thousands of years. Doctors, builders, teachers, designers, researchers. What the dictionary's definition does not add is the subtle differences in human behavior in teams. A successful team allows team members to feel equally responsible for the performance of the team and its outcome by sharing in the work it takes to get there and sharing in the victory when the task is completed. It creates and maintains a climate of trust and open, honest communication, allowing team members to walk openly with one another. Talk, and communication. It promotes the exchange of feedback and works through misunderstandings and conflicts. A member of a team with a conflict communicates directly to their team member rather than going to management. A successful team understands compromise and will try to go the extra mile to help with the problem. It's so true. And it's clear that Edgar Albert Guest knew all about this subject when he penned a poem titled Teamwork, which we first heard in 2014 relay season. And I'm going to share that. I love it. It's all very well to have courage and skill, and it's fine to be counted as a star. But the single deed with its touch of thrill doesn't tell the man you are. For there's no lone hand in the game we play. We must work to build a bigger scheme. And the thing that counts in our world today is how do you pull with the team? They may sound your praise and they call you great. They may single you out for fame. But you must work with your running mate or you'll never win the game. Oh, never the work of life is done by a man with a selfish dream, for the battle is lost or the battle is won by the spirit of the team. You may think it's fine to be praised for skill, but a greater thing to do is to set your mind and set your will on the goal that's just in view. It's helping your fellow man to score when his chances hopeless seem. It's forgetting yourself till the game is o'er and fighting for the team.
Relay for Life of Second Life began in 2005 when volunteers in our online community approached society staff about creating a Relay for Life event in the virtual world. The result of that collaboration is a cyberspace community gathering that has accomplished some amazing things, steadfast results, tremendous successes. In 2007, the American Cancer Society decided to create a virtual headquarters in the Second Life community to provide that same round-the-clock cancer information and services that the organization delivers in the real world. But for us here in Second Life, that reach is worldwide. Since then, volunteers have donated builds and design for the American Cancer Society Island to allow visitors a beautiful location to find the information and resources they need, including survivor and caregiver support groups. And you want to talk about successes. You want to talk about accomplishments. You want to hear the results of what true teamwork is. Since our Second Life beginning, 20,481,000 avatars, 20,481 avatars, some returning, some new, have walked the RFL of SL virtual track in July. In total, that track adds up to an astounding 433 regions long. This one team, comprised of many individual teams, has raised more than $3,174,888 in a fight to not end cancer, but provide assistance, education, and help fund research along the way to that victory. They call this a relay, not a race. We walk tracks. We don't jog. We don't run. Well, this team has walked a collective 179,881 miles since it all began in 2005. Do you know what $3,174,888 may have paid for? It could have provided a cancer patient and their caregiver around 31,750 nights of free lodging at an American Cancer Society Hope Lodge when they had to go away from home for treatment. It could have provided 317,490 rides to and from treatment for a cancer patient through the Society's Road to Recovery program. It could have helped fund more than 10 years of support to important grants that fund crucial research like the current first-time drug tests against 2 resistant types of acute lymphoblastic leukemia in kids, which is the most common childhood cancer. This research program is underway right now, and the hope is that this research will lead to new treatments for kids with resistant types of ALL. That is just one example of many facets of research being done today with our contributions.
The more than $3 million we've raised have provided more than 126,000 people free 24-hour information and support that the American Cancer Society provides through phone, email, and online chats. The dollars we've raised may be playing a role in the Hope Hostel for Kenya, a project that Fantasy Fair is spotlighting in their awesome event this year. For Kenya's 45 million people, cancer is the 3rd leading cause of death. Approximately 40,000 new cases of cancer are diagnosed in Kenya each year, and an estimated 28,500 die every year. With Kenya's only public comprehensive cancer center based in Nairobi, patients must travel from all corners of the country for treatment. The American Cancer Society is partnering with the Kenyatta National Hospital to build a 62-bed Hope Hostel. Isn't it just mind-blowing to think about what our dedication has done? There is just so much that our hard work, the money we raised likely did. Have we had conflict, struggles, and difficulties? Absolutely we have. Those will continue. Sometimes it will feel like we're swimming upstream, but it's how we handle the conflict that builds strength, closer bonds, and breeds success within our individual and collective team. Our learning days are not over because we continuously develop new skills, especially people skills, and we learn about new advances in technology or approaches that we can utilize to further our progress. So now we've come to the point where our volunteers, our teams, are united, seriously and defiantly so, as one team, and are walking at a much brisker and more determined pace than ever before. Eager to take the lead, ready to lock arms, share successes, develop a deeper sense of trust and respect for each other in this fight to a common goal, the end of cancer as we know it. We are ready to hand off possibly the most important year of our relay to the people of this relay, our teams. Our new members and those who are veteran, all of us, the members of this one team. The group of us here on this beautiful stage, of which Nikki and I are the only ones left, are ready to pass that torch to the backbone of those numbers we just mentioned, the heart and the spirit of this amazing relay community. Know as you go forward into this season that we are here for you, we are immensely proud of you, and we deeply appreciate each and every one of you. So Sting, you ready to hand this relay off to the people that really matter? Our teams, our one team united called Relay for Life of Second Life by playing loud and proud the parade of teams. Go Relay. It's yours, Sting.
The 2018 Relay for Life of Second Life event is sponsored by Rockcliffe University Consortium, RGF Estates, Soul Existence, and the Bama Breeze Club. And this weekend's kickoff festivities and the Parade of Teams is brought to you by RelayRefresh.com, where you can take a peek behind the curtain to spotlight some of the Second Life residents who helped to make Relay for Life successful. Our relay is one team made up of many parts, and this is our one team parade. The Relay Cure Masters, Circle of Life, Cure Chasers, Core Charities, Aether Chrononauts Tiny Steps, E&S Breedables, Harmony of Hope, the Relay Music Fest, Relay Rockers, Giant Snail Races, Gorians and Relay for Life, Guardians for Life, Inspired Dreamwalkers, Mayville Steampunks, Steelhead Salmons, Strange Journeys, Spirit Walkers, Short Leash and the GFD Relay for Life team, Sanctuary Rockers, Team Livewire, Guardians for Gold, Elidium, Bucking Cancer, Burners Without Borders and SL, Doll Poses, Immortal Horde, the Free Spirit Hippie Brigade, Project Indigo, Furry Oasis, the Fighting Sunflowers, Feed Your Soul, Find a Cure, Heroes Helping Heroes, Lovely Ladies of Southern Oaks, Melly's Maniacs, The Little Dickens, Too tough to die. Silent serenity. The sunbeamers. Scorpion stingers. Touched by angels. Whispers of hope. Atlantis for life. Bonanza Country Relay Team. Friends for a Cure. Foundation for Life. Ohana Relay Team. RFL Ryukyu Warriors. RGF Estates. Highland Knights of Scotland. Fly for Life. Elves of Hope. Honoring Hope. Models for Life. Quest for a Cure. Questing for the Cure. Rinrose Rocks. The River of Life. Sail for Life. Relay for Christ. Bobby McGee's Angels. Doctor Who fans of SL. Enaka Mall and Cafe. Game of Thrones Cooperative. Fairhaven. The Jewel Theater, Book Island. LV Silver Screeners. Harshlands. Havoc Entertainment. Stars of Austin. Southern Knights Country Club. Second Life Cheerleading Squad. The Sci-Fi Expo. SLCG. Royal Breedables for Life. The Ritz, New York. Unite Dancers. Utopia for the Endurers. Team 427. Team Wolf Spirit. Team Aeonifal. Team Bobby Sue. Team Cattails. Team Charm. Team Metamorphosis. Team Minion. Team OD. Team Shadow. And Team Soul Existence. These are the united teams of the 2018 Relay for Life of Second Life. United, we relay.
This morning, I suddenly realized we're all in this together. I started smiling, 'cause you were smiling, and we're all in this together. I'm made of atoms, you're made of atoms, and we're all in this together. And long division doesn't matter, 'cause we're all in this together. Yeah. I saw you walking in the city. We're all in this together. The city's changing, we're changing, and we're all in this together. Every 12 seconds, someone remembers that we're all in this together. In the kitchen of your rent control apartment, we're all in this together. Come on, baby, I don't mean to rush you. Wanted to reach out and touch you. I've got to start to open my heart. I know you think about jumping ship before it sinks, but we are all in this together. Ask a scientist, it's quantum physics, we are all in this together. And on the subway, we feel like strangers, but we're all in this together. Yeah, I love you and you love her and she loves him, but we are all in this together. You know, baby, there's never been protection in all the history of human connection. Come on, darling, it's alright to show me you don't ever need to be lonely once you start to open your heart. I saw you crying, I started crying, 'cause we're all in this together. And then religion, it's a big decision, but we're all in this together. Yeah, we are all in this together. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. We are all in this together. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. We are all in this together. We are all in this together. We're all in this together. We are all in this together. We are all in this together.
Look at my total number of murders over the years. I should be on the FBI's most wanted list, but I'm not. LOL, JK, smiley face. They always seem to miss me. I hide in the depths of your skin. No doctor can find where I begin. Live more years than those who died on 9/11. You can be 5 or 77. I will still take your life as mine. I take your happiness, hair, health, and time. But hey, don't commit the crime of prejudice. You can be black, white, gay, straight, Christian, or Buddhist. I enslave all that exists. I have 100 types of transformations. I make millions go through radiation. I grow somewhere in the margin of about $50 billion, and I don't know about you, but that sounds like a white-collar job to me. Blind to the eye to see, you cannot stop me. You hear my name, I make your tongue go lame when you're in the doctor's office with your wife. I'm the one who spews a ton of strife with your 5-year-old son who spews a ton of blood as an offering to me. You cannot stop me. I would 1/3 of your lives in my palm, and whether I make it so you can't go to your prom or I kill your mom, you still cannot stop me. The riddle that doesn't have an answer, you cannot stop cancer. But we can. You see, it started with a man who had enough of the general consensus, so he had a relentless idea. He wasn't just gonna stand around and wait for cancer to be done, so he got up and he began to run. And as he did, so did our chance for a cure. Now over 5,000 communities are making the opportunity to come into unity for 12 hours, and yes,